So I recently completed a backup cam install along with a head unit install on this Volkswagen Golf. It's a 2012, and I want to show you things that you might also like to know if you're doing this job. So for the backup cam, the biggest question was, how do I get power to the backup cam? If you look down here, you can see the backup cam. And if you look up under here, I drilled a hole, and that hole comes in. And it took me a while of being underneath the car to figure this out, but there's another, I'm not sure what this is, it might be a valve, but there's another place in here where I was able to also drill and come straight in with a wire. That wire moves up this way and then comes out here. And this took me a while to figure out where to wire this in. This is a reverse light wire, and this is a ground wire that goes to the brake light, I believe. Which ground wire one uses doesn't matter, because ground can come from anywhere on a car. It all goes to the same place. These are wire taps that I found at Crutchfield here in Charlottesville, and all you have to do to use them is twist. There's a little needle in there that essentially punctures the wire and creates a connection. These made it a lot easier than it would be. They eliminated any weird splicing or other finicky stuff you might need to do to tap into a wire. Figuring out which wires to use here was a research hunt in a manual that I found online that was like 1,000 pages or something, that was just wiring diagrams for this car. I can see here that this one is blue and black, and then the ground one is plain brown. And yeah, this could save you a lot of time reading wiring diagrams. So other than power, the backup cam uses this white video cable, and that goes through here. And I pulled out some trim, so the wire continues this way, and then this trim, ooh, there's a bug in here, huh. This trim right here, if you're trying to pull this out, pull this way. There's a little connection point here that if you pull the trim that way, it'll come undone. It took me a little while to figure out exactly what I needed to do there. So I went underneath that trim and then through the trim here. You can essentially go behind the seat belt, and then I followed right under here after taking off this trim. And this piece of trim, I think I would have had to take this handle off if I wanted to pull off this trim. I managed to finagle the trim far enough away that I could get the wire to come up through here, and then the white wire continues underneath this part of the dash and up into the head unit that I installed. So the head unit is really nice. I've been liking it so far. It has wireless CarPlay, which is really nice for iPhones. I believe it has wireless Android Auto as well. And I mounted the mic here on the steering wheel. I've had issues with mics mounted on the steering wheel in the past, picking up a lot of noise and being hard to use. This one seems better. I'm told by the guy at Crutchfield that the technology for noise canceling on these microphones and head units has gotten a lot better in the last few years. I'm actually able to use Hey Siri on this, which I didn't expect to be. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else good to share. That's probably it. Did you get a shot of the bear? It turns out we didn't get a shot of the bear, so I went back and got a shot.